What's up, guys? Today we're gonna take the turbos off the 1J. So let's get to it. I hate myself so much.
Me too.
Alright. Let's do this. Time lapse time.
Alright, so I'm pretty sure we disconnected everything on the turbo system from the manifolds. So we're going to try to take the turbos off, and once we get them off, then the manifolds. A lot of people said to take it off as one unit. We did not, and if we didn't, we wouldn't have been able to use the intake pipes as extra leverage on our wrenches. So it's a good thing we did it in not one piece. So let's hope these come off. They probably won't. Let's just hope. Hey! This should be it. Oh yeah. They're not light. They're not light at all. Okay, so we got the turbos off and everything, and as you can see, there's a couple spots where there's like unused coolant lines and things like that, and now we have to plug them up or bypass them or whatever. And we were actually able to salvage a lot of things from the factory cooling system, so we don't have to really buy anything, because this is poor man mods and we don't want to keep spending money. So first thing is, we got this off of one of the coolant lines, and you just take it and you cap these off. You can either put plugs on these or just U them together or whatever. And boom, there you go. Now this line, we salvaged hoses and a line off of the factory turbos. Put that on right there. And then connect these two. And boom, now the only thing is the heater line, and we had to buy extra heater hose so it can go from here to down here, and then the cooling system is buttoned up and we're ready to go.
Alright, we got the turbo mocked up in the car, and now we need to get the downpipe kind of mocked up. We marked it off with tape so we can get a good level edge. And ideally you'd want to use a bandsaw, but we don't have one, so we'll use this. It's mostly straight, but once we get it put on the flange, we'll know where the high spots and we can fine tune it. But with one of these, it's the best you can do. This downpipe, this is basically the end of the turbine. And then the firewall is basically here, but then it goes this way. We have to rotate it 180 degrees so it goes down underneath the car towards the rear. So we have to cut it and spin it. Alright, because this is a drift missile, missiles aren't friendly, so we aren't going to have a friendly exhaust. So what we're going to do is weld to this flange, and we'll have something like this. Is that positive buenos? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Alright, we're doing it. We aren't joking either, we're doing it. Like, I swear to God, we're doing it. We aren't bullshitting. Okay, this is a exhaust adapter we got at a local auto parts store, and it's going from the flange to our exhaust pipe, and we need to trim it down.
It's a 2.5 inch to 3 inch adapter, that's why we need it.
Yeah. It's very positive Waynos. Alright, since we used that little adapter thing because we're going from a 2.5 inch diameter hole to a 3 inch diameter hole for his hood exhaust, and this is going to weld onto this flange which bolts to the turbine, and then this will weld to here, and then it's going to go something like this. We might angle it a little bit.
I think we're also going to convert this to diesel fuel so we can smoke people too.
Yeah, like diesel guys will love this car. But yeah, I think we should angle it a little bit, kind of give it like the outlaw kind of feel.
Let's do it.
All right. And oh man, like whoever's your date, it's going to see fire shooting out. Okay, we got our exhaust cut up, and this is coming off the flange on the turbine, and then this is gonna come down and weld like that. We just have to place it in the car and get everything to match up, and then we'll tack it and take it out and weld it all up. But actually it's actually gonna be going like that. It's gonna be an up pipe, not a down pipe, because we're sticking out the hood. Got this thing welded, and then the down pipe is welded. We just have to weld this to the flange, and then we'll be ready to bolt it up into the 1J.
Alright, so we got this oxygen sensor put in the downpipe, but this is kind of a poor man mod, I guess you could say. I couldn't find a flange to weld onto here to use the factory oxygen sensor, plus it was like an inch too short. So I did a little research and found out that you can use, unfortunately, an oxygen sensor off of a 1990 Mustang with a 5L, which is what we have right here. But the problem is, it's got circular pins or round pins, and the factory plug, as you can see here, if it'll focus, are flat pins. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut this connector off, and so we don't change the resistance of it, we're just cutting this connector off, and we're going to crimp these connectors on that we modified, and they fit perfectly in the factory connector and stay pretty tight. So hopefully this works, and if it does, it's a poor man mod because this sensor was only a $40 sensor, and to get a Toyota one that works, that you don't have to modify, it's like $150. So we're saving a couple pennies, and hopefully this doesn't go kaboom. And if it does, we're just gonna do a 1.5 jet. Everything should be hooked up. Should be. Let's see if it blows up. See if it blows up. Is on any fires? No fire?
Not yet.
Okay, so we finally got the single turbo conversion completed. It runs pretty good. I do think the turbo might need to be rebuilt though, because there's tons of oil in the intercooler pipes, but that's no problem. We're going to rebuild it eventually. And we did manage to weigh the car finally. And I was actually really surprised with the weight of the car, and it was 3,140 pounds. We went to our local scrap yard, if the camera will focus. We went to our local scrapyard and their scales are calibrated like every month, so it's pretty accurate. I don't know the winner's name off the top of my head, but I will put their name right here, and I'll contact you and ask for your address so we can send you the stuff. And I guess that completes part 4 of the drift missile build. There will be a part 5, but I'm going to leave you with a time lapse of us painting the roll cage, because we painted white and it looks pretty awesome. So stay tuned.